Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I must go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it. Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is not concerned about AI, otherwise known as artificial intelligence. The fear-mongering on the concern about Skynet coming to life is not only complete BS, but any basic programmer will tell you that achieving self-awareness would take decades, if not an entire century. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World. Wow, what just happened? Sorry. Where the truth is, my screen just went. Is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. I hear that's a thing, the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not, look at date, Joe Biden. March 7th, 2023. Then you are listening to a rerun, which is fine because our reruns are good. I think we aged pretty well. Quote of the day. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. I'm not going to do it in a Chinese accent because I will totally get dinged for some sort of racist thing. Why does the U.S. keep, I so want to though, why does the U.S. keep on professing the maintenance of regional peace and stability while covertly formulating a plan for the destruction of Taiwan? If the United States does not hit the brake, but continues to speed down the wrong path, no amount of guardrails can prevent, metaphor much? No amount of guardrails can prevent derailing, and there will surely be conflict and confrontation, and who will bear the catastrophic consequences? Who said that? Jin? How do you pronounce Qin in Chinese? Kin? Whatever. His last name's Gang. He's the foreign relations for China. Anyway, my co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she's one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. Karen B, from the channel of the same name, Karen B.
Indeed.
What's going on, Karen?
Not a whole lot, Mark. Just another fine Tuesday evening on this flat plane.
It is. It's another fantastic, fine Tuesday. If you know how I spent my Tuesday morning, by the way, I spent it listening to David's premiere of the so-called debate with his anonymous friend, Globe, with a globe head.
And how was that?
It went horribly. It wasn't, even though the guy did not have a lot of, I mean, really, you've got to do your homework if you're going to get into a debate now with someone like David, because David's been doing this for so long that he could do it blind, half drunk, and one arm tied behind his back and still do very, very well. And it wasn't like Professor Dave where the guy just insulted. He was just so stubborn and stuck in. And in the end, even though he was only on with it for an hour, his solution to basically everything was gravity. That was it. Gravity solves everything. Gravity. Yeah, gravity's the solution. Yeah. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal, level plane?
Why, yes. That would be the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Hey, you know what? It's the perfect gift for strangers. Oh, wow, I screwed that up already. Friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. I'm David Weiss, and you're not getting a commission this week. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. I don't know why David Weiss sounded like Christian Bale Batman. I was just in that mood. Joker. He's garbage. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch.
Yeah, buddy.
Meetups. Let's do yours first because yours is happening before mine.
Yes. That will be Sunday, March 12th. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. It's that pollen. Sunday, March 12th, which is this Sunday, at the Drayton Mills Marketplace in downtown Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Right on.
There's going to be a whole bunch of us local flatties there.
Very, very cool. Awesome. And I am doing one. I will be in Southern California a week from Saturday. I'm going to be flying down to Los Angeles on Friday afternoon and hanging out with Renee and the crew on the beach. Hopefully the weather will be good for us. We'll see. And if you guys are interested, please go to my channel and the promo is there. You'll see it. It's towards the top. It's the Flat Earth Meetup, Southern California.
Yes, and it's also at flatearthfestivals.com under Flat Earth Friendly Meetups.
Very cool. Also, quick couple of emails I wanted to mention. Some people.
Okay, well, can I do one more meetup before?
No, I don't think so. What? No, what?
What? Why? Okay, Melbourne, Florida. That is.
How do I not know about Melbourne, Florida?
Probably because they didn't send it to you. I don't know. This is hosted by Shelley. You might have met Shelley at some of my events. Shelley Oler is hosting an event Saturday, April 1st, celebrating the new year in Melbourne, Florida. And her contact information is on the webpage. So go over there and RSVP if you want to go hang out with some flatties for the real new year.
Pretty sure I had a child with Shelley.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, pretty sure. No, I don't think so.
Is that David Weiss?
What? No.
You don't remember that joke at my event, do you?
No.
Okay, it's okay. Anyway.
Do you have any others?
There's also some Tucson hikes. So if you go to my webpage, flatearthfestivals.com, and go to Flat Earth Friendly Meetups, you'll see there's also Jam in the Plain, which is in Colorado Springs in June. Another person is hosting an event on their private property. So go there and all the information's there, and you guys can go hang out with some flatties in your local area.
All right. So I have 2 emails, and I thought I'd plug them in here. One's from a guy named Jack. It says, "Hey, Senor Sargent, think I could get that survival guide, por favor. Much thanks, Jack. P.S. Flat Power." Jack, I don't speak Spanish, so I really didn't get the gist of most of that email. However, I think it mentions survival guide. If anyone wants the survival guide, you can email me at msargent23@comcast.net. It is free. It is a little PDF file. It's called Empty Shelves. The hard copy and the audio version is on Amazon, so you can always get it there. And it is just a quick little lighthearted survival guide on how to survive a long-term power outage. So hopefully, I'll plug it into the translator, English to Spanish, and I'll send it back to them like that. But thank you. If you're going to email me, remember, email me in English. The other one is this one just came in before the show. I'm trying to figure this one out. It's from Molly. Mark, I watched Breaking Bad a few months ago, so I decided to do something similar. After doing some research, I decided to make my own meth similar to Breaking Bad. It's not the same blue color as on the show, but almost there. I attached a picture of my creation so you can see. I'm thinking of calling it FE Crystals. If you want me to mail you a batch, let me know. Thanks again for letting me know about Breaking Bad. Now, I'm not sure what to make of this, but here, I'm going to throw the picture he sent me into chat. Hopefully I'm not breaking any laws. And check this thing out. It's about right about there. Take a look at this picture, both you and Peanut. I think he's serious. See the picture he sent me?
Selling me a potential security risk, Mark. Are you trying to...
What? What? Oh, you actually just looking at the picture?
Yeah, but I'm not kidding. When I double clicked on it, Zoom was all, there's a potential security risk. And then when I saw the picture, I had to laugh.
I think that the guy actually made meth. Peanut, scan that thing to make sure I didn't get some sort of weird virus on this. I don't think I did. Hopefully I didn't.
It's because it's a WebP.
Oh, it's one of those images.
It doesn't
yeah,
have.
I was sorry. I was gonna convert it to a JPEG for you, but anyway, isn't that weird? It's like, so anyway, if you're listening, Molly, no, do not mail me any of what you just showed me in that picture. I think that would be a terrible idea. One, I really don't do a lot of drugs, and 2, I think sending meth through the mail, pretty sure that's wait, Peanut's nodding his head. He goes, that's a bad idea, right? Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Do not send meth through the mail.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea either.
Whoa. Yeah, don't do it.
Doing anything with meth doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, it's not. But appreciate that. But again, I appreciate the inspiration. So did I inadvertently do this by telling people that when I was bored, I watched all the seasons of Breaking Bad and the movie El Camino, the follow-up? Whatever. Was it called El Camino? I think it was called El Camino. Whatever. Okay, let's get to the headlines, shall we? We got a few to get through. So the first one, just kind of a throwaway. This is, oh yeah, by the way, the title of the show. not alone. That is mostly for the people that email me. I get on a regular basis, I get people who say, hey, I feel like I'm the only one in my area that's not into flat earth, that's into flat earth. And I don't really know how to get people. It's like, look, get the freaking, I recommend it all the time. Get the freaking app, become a blue dot. There are tons and tons of people. Look, we've been doing this now for 8 years. There are so many flat earthers around you. All you have to do is put a feeler out there. And I mean, you think of them, and Karen's got a meetup this weekend. I've got a meetup in Los Angeles that I'm getting flown to. And this is not the first one I've been flown to in the last couple months. There's tons. In fact, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have been just all over the place. We would have been everywhere. We would have spread like a virus.
And you can use referral code Karen B for
there
that.
You go.
App.
When
Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Your answer to Google censorship. And this is how you find friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You are absolutely not alone out there. There are tons and tons of people. Hang on. Breaking Bad left meth and went to the chips now. Yeah, that's true. Even I have blue. No, my God. Okay. So we'll talk about this later, Peanut. All right. So the first headline, is from China. China's threatening us a little bit. This is from Fox News. China and U.S. heading for conflict and confrontation. That's where the quote is, but it's a bunch of crap. China's basically there. If you didn't get this from the quote of the day, which is I'm trying not to use the accent. So trying not to do it. Why are you trying to provoke us, America? Why are you doing it? Why are you trying to, to make Taiwan, an independent country? Well, it's because we want to fight with you. You're the backup villain right now. You're the alternate villain. The main villain right now is Russia, but you're the fallback, and you're not doing it. So what's it going to take? That's basically what's happening here. You're wondering why you're sitting in meetings going, throwing your hands up, going, why America? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you trying to make us mad? You don't know how hard it is for me not to try to make that sound racist, but it's because that's what we want to do. War is profitable. There you go. It's a simple answer. All right. Next one down is.
Are we going to the headlines now?
Oh yeah, the first one was the China headline.
Oh
yeah, you can throw that away if you want. The next one down is TMZ, because of Peanut, I have to check TMZ multiple times a day. And this one, I just thought it was kind of funny, and it was kind of a double meaning on the "You're Not Alone." Steven Spielberg, there's life out there, and our government's hiding it from us. It's like, dude. Why are you even bothering to? How old is Steven Spielberg right now?
He just wants people to go pay to rent his movies, his old movies and shit.
It's like, look, I remember, I'm old enough. I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind in the theater back when Karen wasn't even close to being born yet, back in 1977. And
actually, that is the year I was born.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in 1977.
Karen wasn't born for at least 10 years after that. She's lying. So Steven Spielberg's only 76. Really? Wow. Well, anyway, he made Close Encounters pushing 46 years ago. And even then, I remember the stories of you've heard the whispers that, he and Reagan had this private conversation where Reagan said, you don't know how many people, why do I keep talking like Batman? Yeah. You know how many people, there's so few people in this room that actually know that aliens are real. So why now, Steven? Why even do it now?
Cash in.
And I love how they reference E.T. E.T. of all things. That's not your alien movie. Your alien movie is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I thought was awesome when it came out in 1970s.
Doesn't matter. Everybody's going to start watching alien movies because of all the UFOs on coming out. And he just wants people to watch his alien movies.
There you go. Probably. Okay, next one down. This one is from Yahoo Finance. As much as I don't like talking about the guy, every time he opens his mouth, someone writes a story about it. So why the hell not? Here's a quote. So the headline is Elon Musk says that AI humanoid robots will eventually outnumber people. It's not even clear what an economy means at that point. And there's this line here where he says, oh God. Oh, yeah. It's in the middle of the article. It's quite dangerous technology. I fear I may have done some things to accelerate it. that AI still stresses him out. It's like, dude, AI is not self-aware. I don't know how many times I have to beat this into the ground. Just because the vacuum cleaner over in the corner there can figure out how to clean my floor more efficiently doesn't mean it's going to start talking to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Cleaning the floors next, taking over the world.
Yeah, it's never going to just stop and then say, hey, you know what? I don't even know why I'm doing this. And then just start heading out the door. It's never, ever, ever, ever going to do that, because that's not how programming works. If you know anything about programming at all, machines only do what they are told to do. It's like, and this goes so far beyond Karen because Karen is so young. Karen, you remember player pianos from back in the old timey days? You hook up a spool to a piano and let it play. So it could play, the Camptown ladies, Camptown races.
Mm-hmm.
It's never, that piano will only play that song. It's never just going to stop in the middle and start playing Beethoven. It's never, ever, ever going to happen because the piano doesn't have the ability. It only does what it is told to do. Even in science fiction movies, the only way we can even explain self-aware is when one of three things happens. Either radioactive goo falls on the circuit board, lightning strikes the circuit board, or a ghost possesses the circuit board. And those are the only three things we can even come up with in science fiction. So whatever. So Elon, suck it, man. I hate you. Every time you say stuff like this, and again, because he says this, there's a whole bunch of lemmings out there. He's like, he's so smart. He's the smart, most intelligent man I've ever. It's like, why would you say this? Because he can comment on AI? Not well? All right, I gotta calm down. Next one down. Okay, this one's from getpocket.com. And this is just if you know anything about the Masons, this is a advertisement story by the Masons for the Masons. It's called "We Have Handshakes: The Freemasons' Greetings, History, and Famous Members." They have been portrayed as a sinister secret society, wielding power behind the scenes across politics, business, and in particular, the police. I don't even know if that's true. You see a nice little Mason ring right there.
Mm-hmm.
If you scroll down, the mini headlines: when were the Freemason Society founded? The modern claims against the Freemasons, and who are the Masons? This is because if you know anything about the Mason rules, they are not allowed to openly recruit. They can't go to college campuses and set up a kiosk like a Visa card company and just start saying, hey, come on in, kid. Come on in. They can't do that. They're not allowed to do that. It's against the rules. The problem is there have been so many more distractions in the last, 30 years in media that the Masons have just been drowned out. So their secret society, because you're not being allowed to recruit, no one even knows about them anymore. It's like, hey, great. So their membership just kept getting older and smaller and older and smaller, and now they're almost non-existent. So they have to run these stories, and the closest they can do is, who are the Masons? They're not recruiting, but anyway. Next one down. This one, I know I'm kind of all over the map. This is from RT.com, otherwise known as RussiaToday.com. I only picked this because of the picture they used. Honestly, I want to use this as the thumbnail for the show. So UK child food poverty soars, says survey. 1 in 5 households report skipping meals or not eating for a whole day in January, according to the Food Foundation. And it's this picture of a kid just licking a plate. Oh my God. It's so great. I mean, again, you got to remember, this is a Russian story, and they've got a thing for Britain right now. They want Britain to just catch fire, and so any jabs they can get at Britain, because part of the reason why the food costs are so high are in Britain is because they shot themselves in the foot by throwing ninjas at Russia on a regular basis. So anyway, that's the only reason I use this picture, because of the wonderful shot inside of that kid. All right, next one down. Next one down is Daily Mail. It's also British. God bless Britain. Oh, yeah. Right? Is that the one I got? Yeah. Okay. So okay. Britain will call us out. You won't see this in a lot of American newspapers, but Britain will call us out every once in a while. Prominent executive, 55 years old, who served in both the Clinton and Obama administrations, killed on board jet during severe turbulence over New England. Dana J. Hyde was killed on a private jet after the plane hit severe turbulence. The plane was forced to make an emergency landing in Connecticut on Friday. The aircraft was owned by Kansas City-based internet provider Conexicon. So it was a private jet.
Yeah.
And it hit turbulence, and he was the only guy that died.
Yeah, they couldn't have just bludgeoned him and then like made an emergency landing and just said, "Oh, turbulence," or anything like that.
Nothing suspicious about this at all, right? So get this. I'm going to read just the first two paragraphs. The passenger killed on the private jet that experienced severe turbulence while flying over New England last week has been identified as a prominent Washington lawyer who served on both the Clinton and Obama administrations, which means they knew some things. Right. Also, an alumni of the National Commission on Terrorist Attacks upon the United States, better known as the 9/11 Commission.
Wow.
Yep. Dana J. Hyde's name was released by Connecticut cops investigating the incident on Monday.
Yep. It was a woman.
So, I'm sorry, woman. Yeah. One of the five, there was only 5 people on the freaking plane. One of them wasn't wearing their seatbelt. Isn't that straight out of a spy movie? You know, where one of the people on the other side who's facing her, right? It's like, hope you're wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you make a little quick call. It's like, okay, now, right? And the plane takes a dive, you know, bam, 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 bam. Or they just bludgeon them and then say they hit, like Karen said. They didn't even have to have the plane do anything fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Okay, let's go straight to, that's a nice transition into lucky and unlucky. So let's do a few of those before we go to break. First one, Karen had to send this to me during the week. Tom Sizemore, which, as you know, suddenly developed a brain aneurysm and was on life support, has been taken off of life support. So that was on TMZ. If you want to know who died first, TMZ will tell you. Tom Sizemore, dead at the age of 61.
Oh.
There you go. Pretty sad. Next one down is Mike. Oh, this one was interesting. This is from the BBC. Michael Palmer, crowdfunder, raises £8,000, but you know what they're spending it on? Defibrillators.
Yeah.
So he was playing for Crowland Town Football Club in Lincolnshire last Saturday when he collapsed and never woke up. So his father says, you know, here's the logic. Here's the parents' logic. Wow. You know what? He maybe would have lived had they had defibrillator paddles on the field.
Right.
So they're crowdfunding to get paddles on the field.
They should be crowdfunding to help sue Pfizer.
Sorry, what was that? It was a bunch of static coming through the microphone there, Karen. I didn't quite catch that.
Oh.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just like, come on, guys, really? That's your answer? It's like teaching everybody CPR at this point. That's your answer. You're not going to question why you're teaching everybody for the first time in history, why everyone's so concerned about CPR now. Well, we'll get to
crazy, man.
It is. Let's do a few more before we go to break. This one, because we're going to jump from lucky to unlucky to, okay, this drives me nuts. This is CNN Health, right? 21-year-old model, right? Flatlined 3 times, blood clots, right? Lost both legs and her heart is failing, yet she told doctors she's the luckiest person on the planet. Thumbs up.
Oh my God.
Her smile is bright, cheery, sometimes goofy, and always contagious, but pictures can't completely capture her upbeat, positive vibe. When you talking about blood clots have left her a freaking horror movie, right? Claire Bridges has a mature spirit that amazes those who love her, as well as the doctors who has the operate on her heart and remove both legs to save her life. And I mean, all this story is just, you know, oh, she's so brave. And you know, it's like, really, you're not going to talk about why? Not going to talk how did it happen? Oh, well, COVID did it. It's COVID. It's one of the symptoms of COVID. Really? Complications. That's what they say right there. Complications. Again.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, it is. You got your complication right here. Okay, let's do one more before we go to break. Next one down. Oh, you know what? This is a good transition. This one is not anything specific. And this story, by the way, I could swear this was a reprint of a story we read a couple months ago. Long COVID is associated. Is Karen okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
She's dying of pollen.
Sorry.
Not to be confused with suddenly. Long COVID is associated, this is from CNN Health. Long COVID is associated with significantly increased risk of, ready, death. That's your opening. Heart and lung problems, a study finds. Yep, that's how they're going to normalize it. They're just going to tell people that if you are suffering horror, if you got blood clots, if your heart is failing you, or just about anything else, it's long COVID. And if you're blue team, you're buying it. You can read that article. I'm not going to, because you know what it's going to say. I mean, it is a bunch of doctors who are echo chambering this whole thing and saying, oh yeah. Okay, we're going to go to our first break. And when we come back, we will finish the lucky unlucky list and go to Clown World. We got a few of those, even though some of our lucky unlucky could be Clown World. So, Karen, how about a little music?
All right.
Okay. Right back, that meth guy.
I'm on the next page. Push back the square. Now that you need her, but you don't, so there you go. 'Cause back in school, we are the leaders of all.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app on YouTube. Or
Join me, Karen B, every moon day.
Every moon day.
9:30 a.m. Eastern on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early light chit chat. Open phones, open topics. Always chill. I hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 for It's You, Me, and the always lovely Karen B. And you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album
Night and Day.
And next week, by the way, I'm going to do something a little different. I decided that the show is going to be called Never Say Never, and I'm going to tell a story about a song I finally found after all these years. There was a song I lost years and years and years ago, a surprisingly long time ago, and I finally found it. And it's going to be part of my. It's going to be a little more lighthearted, but I think you'll dig it. This is. Right. It's going to be. I'm hoping that Stefan, who listens to the show, will appreciate this particular story. It's just bizarre, and I can't believe it finally happened after all this time. But enough teasers. Let's get back to the lucky unlucky. Who was unlucky or lucky this week? Said Mark, sounding like a game show host. Where'd we leave off? We left off with people with long COVID will suffer horribly, and it's coincidence that the side effects seem very similar to something else. I think the next one's Novak Djokovic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. Well, remember, he's the #1 tennis player in the world, but he's going to be missing the 2 tournaments in the United States because the United States, you guys probably didn't know this, is still not allowing people through airport customs, foreign nationals, unless they got the shot. Still.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And so, I mean, you got to remember, he was deported by Australia. And he was going to be deported for 3 years. And they said, no, let's bring him back because he's like our big guy there. He's won Australian Open more than anybody. And nope. So he's like, screw you guys. I'm still #1. He may get leapfrogged because of this, because there's 2 tournaments. Somebody may get enough points to get over him in the rankings. But whatever. Novak, one of our high-profile flat earthers, best tennis player in the world currently. Probably going to get knocked to #2 because of this, but screw you, America.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, next one down. So he's lucky because you know what? He didn't get the shot. Next one, Leonard Skinner. Gary Rosington died at the age of 71. Survived a famous plane crash decades ago. It's a TMZ article, and he's the last original member of the legendary rock band Leonard Skinner. And his cause of death was not disclosed. He had suffered from a series of heart-related issues over the years, including a heart attack in 2015. So his heart was already weakened. So he was a prime candidate for suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
He also received an emergency heart procedure in 2019. You probably know what happened after that. So Leonard Skinner, the last of them.
Survived a plane crash after it ran out of fuel. Fancy that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Next one, also from TMZ, because they're a great source for news, other than being the biggest gossip rag in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bieber cancels remaining Justice World Tour concerts. Now, if you remember, Justin had just recently sold his entire catalog outright.
I thought he already did all this. Like, he was out.
He was out, but now I think it's just official. And he's like, yeah, what they say here, he's fully canceled his world tour. He had already been canceling dates, and now it's like, you remember, if you have, you and I have talked about this, if you have an enlarged heart, if you have any sort of myocarditis or neurological thing, his act, there's a lot of choreography, a lot. He's not just standing up there singing. Right. He's in fact, I don't really think he's really singing at all. He's just lip syncing, but he's dancing around a whole bunch, and he can't do it. He can't do it anymore. And I'm sure his doctors have told him, dude, you do not want to do this. You want to end up like that.
And if you just pay attention to what's been going on.
Yeah.
You start having issues, you would, by your own, if you have half a brain.
Yeah.
You would be like, I'm going to not do this.
And come on, the writing was on the wall. When you sell your entire catalog, how old is he? 20?
29.
29. You would you'd sell your entire catalog decades before anybody else does. No, you're out. You're done. So Justin, but again, he A-lister, not dead. He's not dead, and neither is Celine Dion. Watch Celine sell her catalog, although she doesn't need the money. I don't think he is either, but he's like, well, what else am I going to do? Now I can buy an island somewhere and just live. All right. Next one down is from the Daily Mail in England. Beautiful daughter, 20 years old, collapses and dies suddenly in her heartbroken father's arms despite his effort to save her life. The reason why I mentioned this one is because they got the ambulance there pretty damn quick, and they still couldn't save her. Just because, again, no offense to the families that want shock paddles on the fields and everything like that. Just because the ambulance shows up fast does not mean you're getting out of it. And in this case, she did not. So 20 years old, died of suddenly. So she is unlucky. Next one down from CNN.com. Yeah, again, we can laugh, but that Blue Team and the people that have gotten the shot are watching these articles very, very closely because it validates everything. Report shows troubling rise in colon cancer among U.S. adults younger than 55. Their nice way of saying, yeah, people are getting colon cancer way younger than they should be. Why? How is this happening? Don't know. It's a mystery. Why cancers of all types, especially cancers that should not, they don't even recommend guys. What's the minimum age? Peanut. I told you why. Yeah, thank you, Peanut. What's the minimum age for colon screening for men? Isn't it is it 45? Is it 50? What is it nowadays? I mean, they don't even tell you to go in for colon screening until you're a certain age. And people are getting, it's like, oh yeah, kind of, you remember the girl that got sudden leukemia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that. 45. Yeah, there you go.
Have you heard any stories about some men getting cancer like in their actual penis?
Oh, don't tell me.
Lesions and weird stuff.
Don't tell me things like that, Karen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I like my penis. I don't think that would be.
That's the news you get off Twitter. I tell you all the gory details.
Do you want me to sleep at all?
You didn't get the shot. You're fine.
It's true.
Your penis is fine.
Yeah, you don't want me talking to it. You don't have cancer, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a good penis. Okay. Moving on. Let's go. The next one is this guy. I don't know who he is. I thought Karen might, but he's British. So dailymail.com. Tattoo fanatic Dion Mad Dog Hulse, who showed off skull inked on his face on the Jeremy Kyle show. He died suddenly at the age of 40.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, skull on his face. I mean, it's pretty cool.
He looks like a zombie. Yeah, his face tattooed like a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, there's a GoFundMe set up to raise money for his funeral. And I don't think they even say what he died of. Do I see anything here? I don't see anything. People will probably say he probably died from getting too many tattoos. The ink seeped into his brain. Whatever.
That doesn't happen.
No. Okay, next one down is, we're almost to the end of Lucky Unlucky. Can you believe it, though? We've done this for weeks. Pulp bassist, I do not listen to the band Pulp, Steve McKay, died at age of 56. He's from Sheffield. He played on hits including Common People, Disco 2000, and Lip Gloss after joining Pulp in 1989. He was been in the hospital for the past 3 months with an undisclosed illness. What could it be? Undisclosed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. But he was a musician, producer, photographer, and filmmaker. Sorry about that. But
past 3 months. So is that a short, sudden illness?
Would that be a sudden bout of illness? Yeah. All the new phrases they're coming up with to try to vary it. There's like 10 different ones now that they use. So yeah, he was in the hospital for 3 months with whatever. Okay, and last but not least, before we get to Clown World, but this is a good transition into Clown World. This is from the Miami Herald. COVID vaccine may lower your risk of heart attacks, strokes after infection, a study finds. Studies have shown the COVID infection may increase a person's chances of developing new health issues. Now, new research suggests vaccination may be related to a slightly lower risk of certain cardiac problems after catching the virus. And they did a data review of, 1.9 million patients. That's a lot.
I couldn't open.
Yeah. So that's the direction they're going in, which is yeah. And then Peanut says vaccine. So you get the vaccine. Yeah, Peanut's not wrong. I know that's a double negative. That's tricky, but he's not. Which is, so let's see. You get the shot, then you get the virus. It's what we've been hearing for a while, which is if you get the shot and then you get sick, even though it's like, okay, why are you getting sick? You have a less chance of dying. Because it's a catch-all, which is, and if no matter what happens to you, the doctors can come back and say, well, it could have been much worse. Really?
Yeah.
What if I died? Or, what do you tell the family after the person's died?
They were saying stuff like that, weren't they? Like they died, but it could have been a much worse death.
Yeah, exactly. He could have died more horribly.
Yeah.
Than the model that had her legs taken off.
Right.
And she's still thumbs upping everything. It's like, whatever. She's bold and brave. Okay, we're now in the clown world. So first one in clown worlds. First one is not a surprise. Walmart, this is from Fox Business. Walmart to shutter Portland, Oregon locations just months after the CEO warnings on crime. The stores will officially close later in March. So they're going to close all of the locations in Portland. And the reason is because people are just ripping it off. They chose to reduce funding for police. Therefore, the police presence around Walmart is and the arrests. So there's a sort of a turnstile thing where if you get hit with, kind of like San Francisco, you could steal like, I don't know, $500 worth of stuff, and they won't even sure, they'll arrest you, they'll book you, and then you're out. And maybe you didn't get away with the stuff. Maybe your friend did, but it's worthwhile. And so Walmart's losing their freaking shirts. So it's bad when Walmart's saying, yeah, that's it. We can't do it. When you can't even hire security staff to slow it down to where you're still losing money. If you're losing money at the store because you get that much stuff that's stolen. Ooh, that's bad.
And Walmart stuff is cheap.
Yeah, it is. So
they must be stealing a lot of
shit. People must be walking out of there with a lot of stuff. So it sucks to be you. All right, next one down from Fox News. This one, I don't even know how to react to this one. How e-bikes are exploding and killing people. Now, I know it's a bit of a sensationalist headline, but they're not wrong. And here's why. So people are doing e-bikes in the big cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what they're realizing when they get home, it's convenient. Hey, I'll just take it in the elevator to my apartment and I'll plug it in. Well, there's a charging issue, which or maybe it's a security issue. Maybe you don't want to leave your e-bike outside, right? Wherever you're going to have it. But there's a potential charging issue where the feedback will come back and the battery will catch fire. And the people freak out. I've watched videos on this, security cams. It does not end well because the last thing you're supposed to do with one of those batteries is throw water on them. But that's your first instinct to do it when any sort of fire is throw water on them. And when you do, the fire gets much, much worse. I mean, it's not thermite, but it might as well be, right? And while these people are trying to fight the fire, the fumes and everything is filling up the room really, really fast. And all of a sudden they realize, hey, I'm about to black out. And then they black out and that's it. They die from asphyxiation. And so they've lost how many people have died so far?
There's 2 deaths since January.
Yeah. Yeah.
11 since January. 11. So that's just this year. So was it happening last year too?
Yeah. Yeah. 11 people in New York City alone, right? The lithium ion battery.
11 people. It says it's killed 11 people.
Yeah.
And injured 251 in New York City alone.
Just in New York.
Wow.
This is not, which is why, Peanut has probably noticed, and he probably do an entire seminar for us on why the lithium ion issues are so big in the postal service, why there's so many stickers everywhere with lithium ion planes. There's some airlines that will not let you on with a lithium ion battery if it's over a certain size.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of a big deal. So go figure.
That's kind of scary, man.
I know, right? So
Those
be
things are
careful.
getting
And
really popular.
same thing, by the way, with Teslas or electric cars. The fire departments don't exactly know what to do with them, and not all of them have been completely briefed. Which is, if you're in a Tesla, we're just going to pick on Tesla because it's Elon Musk's baby. Which is, if a Tesla catches fire and the fire department shows up, if you put water on that thing, the fires, lithium ion goes by ground. Yeah, they don't even fly in planes if you're shipping something lithium ion. That's what he's saying, the postal service. So Teslas are it takes like 10, 15 times the amount of water. If a lot of times they just use the water to contain, to keep the fire down, but they let it burn out. It's just bad news. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the next one. Next one down is in the clown world section. Some CBS News. The headline is from the Money Watch section. New York police say shoppers should take off face masks before entering stores. Let me read the first couple paragraphs, right? Face masks, once an essential COVID protective measure, are now being worn by criminals to conceal their identities, according to New York police, or urging businesses to unmask customers before letting them in stores. A recommendation is a 180-degree turn from mask-wearing norms at the onset of the pandemic. During peak periods of infection, federal agencies mandated mask wearing in public places, while many businesses required customers to wear them on the premises. Now, however, some businesses are banning customers from entering the premises with face masks, saying the policy change is needed to identify thieves. I am amazed that this didn't start. Yeah. Peanut says, yeah, we predicted this in the beginning. I'm amazed that when this first started, there wasn't a rash of robberies everywhere. Because look, the cameras, you're never going to be able to identify these people. There should have been tons of, and I don't know why the criminals didn't do this, but now finally.
Because they were afraid of the COVIDs. Because they probably, at that point, they thought it was probably a real thing.
Yeah, that must have been
a real danger.
Yeah, that must have been it. It was actually scaring the criminals. But now the criminals are like,
now everybody knows it ain't shit. They're like, come on, let's put some masks on.
Let's put the mask on. Let's walk out in the street. No one's even going to question it. Just all you have to do is not run. You'll blend in depending on where you are. So yeah, New York, which has quite a few more masks than other cities, they're trying to do this. Now, they're not going to officially ban them yet because that goes against the whole health thing. They're kind of in a tight spot because you can't come out and say, masks are forbidden because, okay, well, then you've got law enforcement versus the health officials. That's not going to work out very well. All right. The last two, before we go to break. Oh my God. I don't even know how to start this first one. Because again, I'm older, so I don't use the TikToks. Peanut says they want them to lower the mask when they walk in and get their face on camera, then put it back on. Yeah. I could see that happening. Yeah. Okay, so the first one is from CNN.com. There is a trend out there. It is called on TikTok. It's called the bold glamour filter. And you don't even have to watch the video, Karen. I mean, you see the snapshot there that's on the screen, which is the bold glamour filter immediately makes you hotter. In fact, for women, and well, except Peanut, it does not make Peanut hotter apparently. He's tried it. I've seen it on guys, and for guys, it's not as good. I don't think the algorithm is nearly as refined as it is for women. But for women, it immediately gives you a perfect makeup overlay and potential lip filler and stuff like that. So I want to read a couple paragraphs from this. So TikTok's new beauty filter is so realistic, people think it's problematic. You think. So the new bold glamour filter on TikTok uses machine learning technology to automatically edit users' facial features. Hear why some people are disturbed and how it makes their faces look. I'm not going to play the video, but I'll give you the summary of it real fast, which is there's two things that it's doing. One is making people depressed because they turn it on They're like, oh wow, look how pretty I look, right? And then they turn it off. They're like, oh God, I've got to go outside. I've got to talk to people like this. I'm a monster, right? So their self-esteem, it takes it on this huge roller coaster. It's like up here, tank, up here, gone, right? But the other thing that it does, which they're really, luckily, plastic surgery is really expensive, and insurance doesn't really cover it. So you got a lot of women now that are reconsidering plastic surgery. It's like, oh wait, maybe I have the money to actually do this for real. So they're going into doctors' offices and saying, hey, turn on the bold glamour filter. Can you make me look like this? Or you go to a professional makeup artist and say, hey, can you make me look, how close can you get me to this? What is going to take? It is a self-esteem nightmare that's happening out there. And well, let's throw in a third little side related problem, which is you never want to turn this filter on and talk to somebody ever, unless you're never, ever going to talk to them. I mean, you can imagine, right? Going on like little dating apps or whatever, you turn on that filter. It's like, oh, hey, and the person on the other side, they immediately think you're using a filter, or maybe you're both using freaking filters.
Ugh.
Are you going to meet?
Oh no, man. This is so creepy.
I am so glad I grew up when I grew up.
I know, right? I feel like we just came in under the radar. Like we just like skidded in, right? We're like,
we did.
We just
and
made
all
it.
these doors just closed behind us, and this thing erected that was just this house of horrors. And this, even though, look, I think it's great technology, it is potential, because Hollywood's using it. I mean, they're using it for Harrison Ford's new Indiana Jones movie. As long as the actor is still alive, they can use them for voiceovers and just do something like this, only on a high-end scale, and put them into the movie. But the bold glamour filter, don't do it, kids. Don't do it. Parents, if you have kids, just see if they've got this and see if they're crying in their room.
So terrible.
Like, I can't go to school. I am a monster. Like, why? I mean, the girl on the left, for example, when you're looking at here, just this little snapshot here, the girl on the left doesn't look that bad at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's not ugly.
No, but it's amazing what human beings, when it comes to the hardwire attractiveness that we have built in.
It gave her an eyelid crease. She,
Yeah.
She didn't have that.
We're talking about millimeters, just tiny, tiny amounts of, lip filler we're looking at here. Perfect eyebrows.
She's cute. She don't need this.
I know, but it's too tempting. It's too tempting. I feel bad for women more than men. Men, straight men aren't going to really go for it that much. Gay men probably.
There's definitely more pressure on women to uphold a certain aesthetic, for sure.
Way more pressure. So yeah, I can't even imagine having a daughter go through that. Okay, because what do you even say to them? It's like, you're fine, but I could look like this, Dad. Like, oh no. Okay, last one, which is, wait, what am I supposed to not say things like?
He's talking to me when I was talking about the penis thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the dudes were yelling at me to not talk about that when I said that.
Okay, so this is, by the way, let's we're segueing into it. So not only are the filters out there, so you've got one side where there's a filter that's making people more beautiful than they really are, and there's a whole other group of people out there called the de-influencers. That's the only title they have right now, which is, so influencers, they will have you buy products. They will hawk their wares, right, on a regular basis. They'll spend 15-20 minutes of their show hawking a particular makeup line or a hair dryer or whatever it is, some whatever it is. De-influencers will tell you not to buy it. I know it kind of feels, what was that, Dr. Seuss, the Sneetches, the stars and the no stars type thing on their chest. They had those machines they were going through, and I know it was, be part of the herd thing, but that's what it kind of feels like, which is like, so you have one group of people that are saying, oh, buy this product, and another group of people saying, don't buy this product, which you can't do on mainstream television, because there's something along there's I can't remember what the rules are there. You can't come on and say, don't buy Chevy trucks. because they're pieces of crap. You can't do that if you're Ford.
Right.
You
So
can't
you
do
can't
that.
come on that. You can't be trashing other people's stuff.
No, but on social media,
That makes sense.
Yeah. But on social media, you can currently. So this is probably going to get regulated before it's over.
Well, if they ask someone to do it and they're not officially affiliated with the company, they could be doing some sort of backdoor deal.
Right.
Like it's super easy to do.
Yeah, and
People do it all the
plus,
time.
it's funny because they were mentioning it's like even if you're a de-influencer, you're an influencer. It's like, yeah, but you're kind of getting stuck in the semantics there. I mean, you're either selling the product or you're trashing the product.
Influence is influence.
Influence is influence. So and
de-influence a word? That sounds like a made-up word to me. They're just making shit up.
And if I don't know. All I know is eventually those people, though, if you're going to if you're a de-influencer, you get 1 million followers. How are you just making your monetization through through the platform? Because you're going to have product lines come to you and say, oh, hey, you want to hawk our product? Right. And then what are you going to do? You can't be both a de-influencer and hawk a product. So you're going to have to be platform only. So I don't know how this is going to work. But we've reached that stage now where social media has now gotten to, I think, its final conclusion, which is everything is a lie. And now there are people making money both selling the lie and condemning the lie simultaneously on both sides. And it's like, oh, I can't even imagine being someone walking into that and saying, okay, what do I listen to? Do I listen to the guy who's got 3 million subs that's selling the product, or the guy that's got 1.5 million subs that's trashing the product? What side am I listening to?
Yep. Yeah.
Good thing.
They definitely made that word up.
What word? Influencer?
De-influencing.
Oh no, that is a made up word. If it's brand new, it's gonna stick. It's absolutely gonna stick. You bet. It's a big article on this, and what it is, what it is. It's backlash. So what happened was, and this is the curse. We'll go to our break here in 2 seconds. Sorry, I know we're running a little late on this one. Which is this is the backlash from all these people that bought the product and then didn't like it. Right? So they bought this product from somebody that had 5 million subs. And they're like, hey, this isn't very good at all. This is garbage. Right? And so a few of those people, it's like, you know what? I'm going to make a channel and I'm going to tell other people not to buy it for what happened to me. And that's, just generated this wave. So kind of like negative movie reviews. People that are like, don't believe Disney. It was a terrible movie. Okay. We are going to our second break. When we come back, we will take your phone calls. And yeah. So Karen, how about some music to take us out?
Okay. Please support local flat earthers. Grounded extracts. Like a plug into an outlet, nature
You're
is
such an
a key
influencer.
into the mind. Once there, it can clean out old chemical leftovers and nourish the mind and body. Life is regained. The road becomes joyful as clarity and self-awareness return. Herbs, roots, algae, and fungi have helped many of us heal, move closer to our goals, and gain control of true priorities over carnal desires. Join us in leaving the chemical, material world and enter into the natural realm, from farm to farm. These finest creations are handmade and are more potent than anything your corner co-op has to offer. Our products, excluding our tinctures, are made to order to assure freshness and maximum effectiveness, fusing together healing herbs with tasty counterparts to bring out full potentials. There is so much joy in working with the natural world given to us by our Creator. Let's take part.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. So we're taking your phone calls, and the phone number is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. Because, you know, there's no odd numbers in it. All right. First one is going to be 505, possibly in New Mexico, because when America takes over things, we're just not very clever at our naming scheme. So it was just old Mexico, and we made it a New Mexico.
Yeah.
So 505. What's happening?
Mark, Karen, hey, maybe we could call New Mexico when that takeover happens, Breaking Bad land. I'm pretty sure I think that's where they filmed it.
You're not the one that was wanting to send me the meth through the mail, are you?
I am not, and I am with you on that.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Opinion and what you should do.
It's a really, I mean, he said, I mean,
No,
I don't know if
just
you saw
on
the
a side
picture
note,
on
hey.
screen. It was a big bag of meth on screen. And I think he actually made it.
That was like
Hunter
Biden amounts of
Yeah,
meth.
yeah, that's a couple weekends for Hunter worth. with like 3 or 4 hookers. There was nothing lighthearted about that. I was hoping for like a little bag. No, it's like a bag of fries, only with meth. Anyway, what's happening?
Wow. You know, and just on a side note on that, I think the background on how they made that stuff for the show.
Yeah.
I always heard there is a woman in Albuquerque in Old Town, and she has a business called the Candy Lady, and she makes like homemade chocolates, and a lot of people go there and buy her stuff. She's got a great business, and I think she made that for the show, and she still sells it. So what was in the show actually was candy that she made. Yeah.
The glass sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, yeah, let's see. I was looking at some fake space stories today. So I'll transition into that. The one that struck me was, I don't know if you guys saw this, NASA's Artemis 1, Orion spacecraft and moon mission were highly successful despite the heat shield issue. So they're bringing up the heat shield issue, which is another recycled storyline from the 80s with the space shuttle.
Right.
But it goes on to say that there was a teleconference today. Yeah, teleconference was today with NASA's leadership, and they revealed that the program managers revealed that the heat shield did not perform as expected, losing more material than planned for. But the good news is NASA is confident that everything will be ready for the manned Artemis 2 mission around the moon in 2024. And then this unexpected loss in this, there was a irregular charring upon splashdown. So, and I guess they're investigating it, and they'll get to the bottom of it. But I wonder, my question is, who are the guys that were told or ordered to blowtorch the module before dropping it in the ocean? Because I'm pretty sure that the pictures show that there is some of that, but I'm just wondering.
Well, who burns any of the stuff and adds the little special effects? The easiest ones, if it was my team that was doing it, I would contract out military because they're paid to follow orders and they're under different rules. So whistleblowing for military is way tougher to do than whistleblowing for civilians. So that's all I tell. It's like, grab some blowtorch. Now again, because it's compartmentalized, you don't have to tell them why you're blowtorching the spacecraft. All you have to tell them is you're going to.
Right.
And make it, you Photoshop up a picture, hand it to them and say, make it look like this. It's like, giving something to a paint guy at a body shop. And it's like, I want the flames on the side of my car to look just like this. Or a tattoo artist. I want this thing on my back to look just like the dragon from the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
or Peanut Gallery just chimed in and say, or you tell the military guys that it's just a test, a demo, a drill. It's a mock-up. And then they're completely off the hook. It's like, oh, okay. And then if they see it on television, it's like, hey, that looks just like the thing we did. Yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about it. And they don't. Yeah,
it kind of always reminds me of the famous video we're all aware of the guy in the space shuttle when they were launching the satellite out of the space shuttle, and he sticks his head up with the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
It's I wonder where that guy is today.
I don't. Well, again, it was I can speak from experience that during the 80s, nobody watched those missions and they were never replayed. And even when they were, remember, it was best you could hope to record in was VHS. So you got away with so much stuff in the 80s and nobody cared. In fact, the only thing that people even paid attention to was crap. It wasn't the Challenger, was it? Which was the one that blew up once it launched? That wasn't Challenger. Well, it was Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one? What was the one that
Challenger 80?
Okay, so Challenger. Yeah, remember
Columbia.
Oh, right, Columbia. So, other than that, that was the only notable thing that happened in the 80s when it came to space. Everything else was just like, we got more fun things to do than deal with that crap. That's why they got away with wearing motorcycle helmets and short sleeve shirts on their missions, because no one even questioned it. Nobody even watched the missions. So they went on the cheap. It's like, really? You're wearing a motorcycle helmet? Not even a pressurized suit? You're not even wearing gloves. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, they're back to motorcycle helmets. Now they all look like the Stig.
Yup.
They do. They do all look like the Stig.
11-11.
Oh,
11,
boy.
in those thin suits. What else you got? Or is that it?
No, that just reminds me, those poor Columbia guys, because with the Clinton side story that you had earlier, I just wonder what happened to those guys.
Dude, were they even up there? You don't know. Remember what I've said for years, which is the last thing you would do, straight out of Capricorn 1, is the last thing you would do is actually put people on top of a pile of liquid explosives. Even if it's attached to balloons, there's still a bunch of flammable stuff there, obviously, because when they blow up in spectacular fashion. So, and you keep it on an Air Force base until you need them for something else. So did the Columbia guys burn up? Well, come on. If the Challenger guys didn't burn up, then why did the Columbia guys burn up? You know, why would you put them up there at all? It's expensive to train those guys. Put them in an Air Force base. Put them in some recliners. Give them some Slurpees. Hey, look, chill for a while until we can get this thing done. We're going to put you on a C-17 and drop you out over the ocean.
Well, the creepy thing is nobody ever saw them like all the other Challenger guys except that one guy from Challenger. But I'm wondering if they just really gave them deep identity.
That would probably be the safe thing to do. Because what year was Columbia?
Anyway, 2001,
that was in
2000?
like 2003, or I think it was 3
so
or
15 years later. Yeah, by that time they probably would have revised their policy and said, okay, just so you know, if something happens, you're going to be nobody. Just nobody going off somewhere. We may even give you have a little work done. We may even put on the glamour filter on you. And permanently.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you folks.
Yep.
And I'll let you get to the other callers. And everybody keep it flat, and I'll do a shout out to Jan in Dallas. Hey, Jan, we haven't heard from you. Give us a call. Okay. Keep it flat, everybody.
See you, man.
See you, Mark. See you, Karen.
Bye.
Shout out to Jan.
Shout out to Jan.
Also, shout out to Renee Calosea. He gave us a super chat. He's the host of the meetup, which is Flatter March 18th. And he says, Flatter March 18th, northbound equinox celebration, 12 noon, Sunset Beach. Be flat. It's a breakaway civilization. There's only a quadruple pole on our beautiful non-rotating flat Earth.
There you go. Yep, Renee is the guy that made it happen to where I will be heading that way and be spending time with the good people of Southern California.
That's right.
We'll see if anybody stops by. Hopefully not Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too. I wouldn't think they dare show up. Okay, let's go out to 605 area code, which may or may not be in one of the few states with one area code, otherwise known as South Dakota. What's happening?
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. Hey, Mike Jones, what's happening?
Oh, man. I live in South Dakota. Does anyone even know where that is?
I do.
I do. It is southwest of Narnia. And at least
it's south of North Dakota.
And a couple bus rides from Mordor.
Sharon and Mark, thank you so much for what you guys do every week. Incredible.
I've been to South Dakota. I went to Mount Rushmore, hung out there. I drove through there, did not know that
that's people where Mount Rushmore is, and they think it's in Russia.
Mount Rushmore, by the way, Mount Rushmore is my prediction that will survive like Planet of the Apes. If our civilization gets wiped out, Mount Rushmore will be one of the few things that survives, and someone will walk up to it and be like, "They blew it up! Damn you! damn you all to hell, while looking at Mount Rushmore. So
You're right. Before 2020, when this COVID thing hit,
yeah,
like our population in South Dakota was 750,000 people.
that's not a lot.
We had more cattle than people at that time. Our governor, Christy Noem, supported South Dakota immensely through this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
She actually increased the population by, 80,000 people, which was 10%, which is kind of huge.
That
right?
is huge. Good for you guys. Seriously.
It is huge. It is huge. But I'm looking for some help from you. I'm 62 years old. I have had David's Flat Earth app since he generated it. And I've tried to meet people in South Dakota.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to do that. And I live in the middle of South Dakota where there's a lake that I have a houseboat on that's 57 foot long. And the lake from Pierre, which is the capital of South Dakota,
Yeah.
in the middle of the state, all the way up 200 miles to the middle of North Dakota. And I have
Go ahead.
I have like witnessed like all of the boats from 6 to 8 miles all the time that doesn't meet the curvature of the earth. But I just want to somehow somebody needs to help me find these people in South Dakota on this flat earth.
Well, I mean, are
I can
let me get the obvious stuff out of the way. Are you a blue dot? Are you registered as a blue dot?
Yes.
Okay. And I haven't looked at the blue dot list.
Oops.
I haven't looked at the blue dot thing recently. Karen's firing up the app right now. Have you tried to do a broadcast in Wyoming and say, hey, shout outs, anyone in blue, any blue dots want to get together? Have you tried that yet?
I'm doing that and I haven't had any luck. I need somebody to help me do that.
Oh, you mean do the broadcast?
Yeah, because you can come to the middle of South Dakota and you can figure out real quick, not at a bar or any place else, that you can sit like on a shoreline and see 8 miles and, well, gee whiz, you wouldn't be able to see my houseboat or a sailboat or anything, but you can see it all.
Okay,
Like,
I have an idea.
people in South Dakota.
I have an idea. How about this? Why don't we make it easy? Because sometimes the blue dot thing, it's not as I mean, blue dots it works great in my opinion. However, what if you decided to do what's the closest town to you?
There's a couple in Chamberlain that's the kind of far from you. He's by himself. They're in Rapid City.
All the people are in Rapid City.
Rapid City is Sioux Falls, major. Rapid City on the west end and Sioux Falls on the east end is the major quote flat earthers.
Gotcha.
And I don't know how to communicate with them.
Well, I could try to organize a meetup for you. If you wanted to find a restaurant that was fairly close to you, I could make a promo on my channel and say, because I've done it for hundreds of people over the last 8 years, and say, hey, you want to do a meetup? If you just pick a restaurant or a bar where it's not so loud that you have to scream to hear anybody, I can make a promo and say, hey, Wyoming. I mean, I haven't done one for, I'm sorry, not Wyoming, South Dakota. Hey, South Dakota, if you want to do a meetup, I could do it for you. Want to do that? You want to think about that?
Yeah, I want to, but I want to do it in the summertime when I have my houseboat so people can actually come out, get cabins and stay, like, you know what I mean, at where the Spring Creek is.
All right. Well,
and then get on a boat and enjoy ourselves together.
That sounds wonderful. Do you know my email address, right? It's in the body of every single video I've ever made.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. When you're getting close, when you're like, I don't know, a month out or 6 weeks out, just call me or email me. Email is probably better. And shoot me a thing and saying, oh, hey, this is when I want to do it. I will build a promo for you. Cross my heart.
You guys are the greatest. Thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome.
And if there's anybody listening out there who's in South Dakota, but you're not on the app, or you can't get the app, but you're listening to the show, you should email Mark and say, "Hi, I'm in South Dakota."
There you go.
Middle of South Dakota.
Yeah, because there's, I mean, come on, there's way more people that aren't on the app that are on the app. I mean, I love the fact there's tons of blue dots, but 90% of our members are still in the closet.
Yeah, there's still plenty of people who aren't on the app.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, I wasn't on the app.
No, there's a lot. I honestly, you guys, I'm pretty tech savvy on computers and everything else, but I haven't been able to communicate to everybody outside of the pier, which is in the middle of the state.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. No worries. We will get you connected. I don't think I've ever been skunked on one of these. So we will get you connected when you want to get connected, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much.
All right. You have a good rest of your evening. We will talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
See you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep. We do not get a lot of calls from Pierre, South Dakota. I've been to Pierre, by the way.
I looked on the map. He really is there. He's by himself in the middle.
I used to do software installs in just the most rural, weird places you'd never go to on vacation deliberately. And South Dakota was one of those interesting places, which I loved. South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, people don't get it. You think about overpopulation, drive through one of those states. Tell me about overpopulation. Okay, let's pick up one more before we go to break. Let's do 718. 718, you are the last call before the break, and then we will try to get 508 when we come back from the break. What's happening?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Karen, Peanut, etc. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm calling you from the city formerly known as New York. It's now officially called Smoke Shop City. Because whenever a drugstore closes down here, 7 smoke shops open up. And there's going to come a time I'm going to have to get my tampons from Mexico. But anyway, just letting you know where I am. Have we found Julian Sands yet?
No, they have not found Julian Sands yet. And at this point, I don't think they're going to. In fact, there was interesting. It's funny you bring that up because there was an article written recently about him where he had a close call. I think he's one of those guys that had been pushing the envelope too many times. He was in a close call in a hiking issue a few years back, and where he almost didn't make it out. And I think in this case, I think he got himself into a bit of trouble. And I mean, come on, it's been 2 months, something like that.
He's probably in Antarctica.
Yeah, there you
Listen, before you go to break, this is a slightly maudlin question, but I wondered if you might indulge me, because I wondered if you could give me a quick roll call of all the people in FE who have passed on, not necessarily giving me commentary about their personalities, but I'm just kind of curious as to who's around. I know that Rob Skeever passed and Antonio Subarat. I'm wondering if Pancho Pete is still alive. And a few others. I'm just wondering if there are names that I don't know. You
knew the 2 of the bigger ones. Rob Skeev, of course, Antonio Subaretz, Mike Helmick.
Yeah, Mike Helmick.
He was put on a ventilator, got remdesivir.
Yeah.
There was 2 Mac
Parhar
from Canada. I personally think that he was targeted by Canada because he was a pain in their ass.
Did you see that they released an article saying that he died of a drug overdose?
I did see that.
That's such bullshit.
I did see that.
Yeah, and then,
Mad Mike Hughes, I suppose he counts, even though that was just before the pandemic.
GB Jedi.
What about that? Oh, really? GB went. Oh, dear.
Yeah, GB Jedi.
What about that guy that had that weird logo that looked like Jimmy Fallon, that frog logo or whatever that caused that controversy a few years back? You know who I mean? I don't know what his name is, but like he looked like Jimmy Fallon and like he had some sort of weird penguin frog.
IPS.
He's
a troll.
Infinite Plane. No, he's still around.
He's still around.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have not lost very few people. I mean, over 3 years, our numbers are still very, very, very intact. We knew all the people that, and And the ones that did die, I mean, nobody, let's put it this way, with the exception of Mac, nobody else died suddenly. And in Mac's case, I still don't think
Highly suspect.
Yeah, highly suspect.
Highly suspect.
Because in the American government, Mac didn't even make the top 50, but in the Canadian government, he was a pain.
Just taking them on very early on when nobody else was.
Yeah, he was very noisy about it. And so, but yeah, not a lot. That's about it.
Okay. Well, thanks for filling me in on that. And before I go, I'd like to give a shout out to Jan. I'm still waiting for your audiobook.
Nice. Well, who knows? Might be able to talk her into
Get
one.
on it, Jan.
Well, thank you.
All right, Mark and Karen and Peanut, take care, and off to break you go.
All right. Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
We are going to our final break, and when we come back, we are going to take your phone calls. The phone lines are almost open, with the exception of 508. So you can call 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Karen, that final break music.
Yes. I'd also like to just throw in there that we are now streaming live on Rumble.
Oh,
So
yeah.
any of your viewers that, would like to catch us live who only watch on Rumble, they can watch us live too now.
There you go.
It would be nice to give YouTube the big middle finger eventually.
We'll see. All right.
All right.
Talk
Break
to you guys in a bit.
Where is the
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer. Engage Delta 9. Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's Yumi and the always wonderful Karen B. Hey, Karen, did you know, by the way, that Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon turned 50 years old last week?
Wow.
I know, right?
Used to listen to that a lot, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those it was kind of a rite of passage album for a lot of people. It's like, oh, dude, you don't know good music unless you have Dark Side of the Moon.
It was like Billboard's top 10 for like 40 of those 50 years.
Forever. It was, I mean, think of the royalties. I don't know what deal they must have struck back in the day, but the residuals just kept coming in. You imagine the checks over the years? It's like, we're still getting paid for this? Like, some of these guys are dead. Oh, they're still good. The families are still getting checks. All right, we are picking up. Oh yeah, phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Let's go out to 508 East Coast. What's happening, 508?
Same old. Trying to find you guys on Rumble. How do you look it up?
Karen B.
Karen space B.
Karen BFE. There's no space. I think it's
there's
just
no
Karen
space in this one?
BFE.
Karen BFE.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on.
Talking too fast.
Because I'm wondering also, you're on the phone and you go, why am I listening to this faster than the interzones on said devices? And I wonder, why didn't everything just stay landlined? Probably would have been better. I grew up in the 80s. Wonderful time.
Oh, you mean why we have lag and delays on
grew up in Maine on Sebago Lake. It was beautiful. It was paradise. Dial-up rotary phones in my grandparents' trailer on the beach on Sebago Lake. And it was just, wow. And this all looks like a bunch of AIDS with all this technology. That's all. And one trying to swim through all of this.
Are you old enough?
Sebago Lake.
Are you old enough to remember there was this TikTok video that came out because there's all these kids that have heard rumors. It's like, is it true that you guys had to drink out of the water, out of the hose, outside before?
Yeah.
It's like,
Heck yeah!
Heck
I drank
yeah!
out of a hose. You did too. You're
Damn straight
Drank
you
out of the
did.
hose all the time.
And it was good water.
all the time.
After I waited for the
80s.
ants to get rinsed out of it.
My grandfather grew the best organic vegetables and tomatoes you ever tasted in your life. All right, the Karens, Caron. Just not to get it confused with the Karen. And he made the best vegetables. Everybody in the vicinity near Sebago Lake came and said, "Robert, give us your vegetables." And I said, "Hey, he grows the best. I don't know how he does it." And he fought in World War II and fought in Papua New Guinea, and all my grandfathers did. I'm the guy that's the fifth,
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson V on YouTube. Not promoting myself. I think I have like.
It's okay. You can plug whatever you want. That's fine. It's free content.
Not looking for that. Not plugging myself, but who'd want to do that anyway? So, why does phones work better than the interzones? That's my question. What do you guys think?
Why do landlines work better
Trying
than
to
the
find
internet? They're far less complex. I can tell you because my dad used to work for the phone company.
Right.
Back in the day. I mean, they had their own little power supply, They would work even when the power went out. You
Yep.
weren't going through a lot of
In the 80s, never had a power problem with phones.
Yeah, I remember because back in '89, when the San Francisco earthquake hit, my mom was able to call the house.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we were able to call to check on each other.
The irony now
In those
is
tiny little things, you see what a bad road this is all going down without Christ.
there are so many people now that don't have landlines because they think they're redundant. So anyone under the age of 35.
They're not even real landlines now, though. It's through the cable.
Right.
Oh, hold on.
You depending on where you are, you can still get full blown landline.
Has one. Every receptionist office has one. Of every business still has one.
Yeah.
I tried to completely get rid of my cell phone and go with a landline and go completely off grid, and it was $100 more expensive than having a cell phone. So I go, oh, like they don't want you to have a landline.
No, I mean,
unless you're a programmed robot.
I mean, come on, man. If you had a landline, who are you going to talk to? Exactly. There's not a lot of people that. I mean,
Anyone that has my number, that I forward my cell phone number to the landline.
Well, you know what I mean, though. If something really bad happened, yeah, you could pick up your phone and you get dial tone, but you couldn't call anybody because the network.
I have a Windows Lumia 950 XL. I can take the battery out of and take the chip out of, no problem, in like 2 seconds and shut the thing off and down. It's gone. It's non-existent. And then I can have a landline phone.
Yeah, there you go.
Whole landline phone, and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And, and I think maybe forcing a reversal on this CERN, Jesuit technology, Jesuits, whatever you want to call them, all these things. And do you see what's going on in Boston? I remember the 2017 Boston Flat Earth meetup was in Boston. I missed it. I had no idea. I wasn't I wasn't there yet. So I missed that. But imagine if everyone were just contacting each other on landline phones and got there. But no, you can't do that. So Christ has to come into the situation somewhere, whether landline or cell phone, to make these things happen, because if he's all truth, and Luke 8:17 tells us all truth will be exposed, well, then everything's going to be exposed. Like the White Noise Netflix video about the derailment, like the Mr. Anderson ID in the Matrix movie before 9/11, and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So maybe if people were talking a little bit, not so much on the interzone cell phone apparatus, and maybe landlining each other.
Okay,
maybe,
I totally.
there might be a fight.
Okay,
but
I have two.
Pushing this technology on everyone, 2030, everyone's gonna have a brain chip.
Well, if we make it that far. Okay, two questions before I let you go, because I do have to. Which is, first off, one's just a statement, and that is, I think a T-shirt you should make up would be. I just thought of this. Is that the T-shirt says Jesus would use a landline, because my Christ is Yahushua HaMashiach. So I'm not. All right. Well, I'm just saying for the masses.
I have a T-shirt that says "unvaccinated" on the front with a cross on it, and on the back it says, "Do I look like a lab rat to you?" So,
that might ruffle a few feathers. The second thing before I let you go is what
Oh, it does.
What are you? I have no doubt. What are you drinking tonight?
I don't know. What does it sound like? It's a lot of CBD, 1-to-1 THC seltzers, bunch of edibles, and that's it.
Oh, that's it?
They did come and drink them.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Let's check. You sound very relaxed, very smooth.
Good thing you keep a check on everyone. But be sure to tune into Virtual House Church, Rob Skiba, because I really agape loved all of that. When the whole of all of this was coming together in 2015, 16, 17, 18, before the scamdemic, which has now been proven to be a scamdemic.
Yeah.
It was way better then. And now they have to shut everything down because this truth is so explosive.
Yep. I hear you. Hey, man, I got to let you go.
There you go. And you're not going to do it without Christ.
Dude,
Christ is the bridge, the gap across the chasm.
Hey, it's a call-in show. I got to let you go. Okay.
I don't care.
I know. What happened? Oh, the mute button just hit. Sorry. That was like it was weird. I got sort of a hand, like an early Parkinson's things happening. All right. Anyway, got to pick up a couple calls. You know what I'm going to pick up first, though? I didn't mean to be. I'm Stu. You know I love you. I do. Do I really love him? I don't know if I do. Okay, let's go to Jan from Dallas. 214. Jan, there's people asking for you, so it's nice that you're still around. What's happening?
Oh, hello, guys. Mark, Karen, and Peanut. I've been here, and to John and the lovely lady in New York. She's got a beautiful accent. And
I don't know what accent that is, by the way. I was listening to her the entire time going, I can't place her, but go ahead.
The reason I called?
No. I didn't understand the accent, the lady in New York. I don't know what accent that was. Yeah, it was kind of a cool accent, but don't
think that's British?
I couldn't even begin to put a pin on that map. Where next time she calls in, it's like, okay, where are you from originally, and then how many years did you spend here, and where? Because there's a mix of some things. Jan, however, Jan's originally from California, right?
La Jolla, yeah.
Yeah, and then Texas.
California.
Yeah.
La Jolla is nice.
Conceived and born, yes. So I'm truly Californian. No, I'm calling you on a landline.
Oh, you're talking on a landline?
For decades.
I say
they're going to have to pry this out of my cold dead hand.
That's awesome. You made my day, Jan. That's great. So you've had the same phone number for just
and it
decades?
still works when power goes out and everything?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. And this is why people don't realize, especially the kids, that you can only plug in a phone for so long without electricity.
Yeah.
So,
But the landlines, they keep, as long as the phone company's working, landlines keep working.
And can you believe we don't have telephone books anymore?
Well,
yeah, they got skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and now they just don't even make them anymore.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I was not, when I didn't envy the post office when they had to move all those huge things of yellow pages, during that time of the year. Those were heavy. I remember the strength guys, the guys that could rip the phone books in half. That was a thing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nancy ripped up that thing of the president. Yeah. Anyway, because Peanut has my phone number, right? When I call in.
He does, and in fact, it pops up. He's got it to where when you call in, it says Jan from Dallas. Pick up or suffer her wrath, or something to that effect.
So, but it's just very kind of the shout outs I got. I appreciate them so much. And I guess I'll give a second shout out to the Great White Hope that Jesse Lee talks about, that you were on his show one time. So, long time ago.
We will see. Again, next year, provided 2023 doesn't turn into some sort of soup sandwich, next year ought to be intriguing. I'm curious myself how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I don't think we can wait for 24 myself, but
I don't want to. Sorry to get too weird.
Anyway, you guys have a great night, okay?
Thanks, Jan.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And off goes Jan. All right, so let's from Jan. Heck, let's pick up Dennis. Dennis is driving somewhere on Tuesday in Oregon on the highway. Dennis, what is happening?
Hey, you got that right. I-5 North as usual. Hey, I know it's pretty late in the broadcast, so I mainly had, I had one shout out and one quick thing. I'll lay off the accelerator, and that my shout out has to do with the to Alex Lowry. He has a I'll take him up on that suggestion, although it may not be shortwave radio, but I could probably vastly benefit from a little bit of technology just to like right now with the noise and everything. I should probably look into that to make things a little bit more to get a lot more out of what I have. So I will look into that. And thanks for the shout out last week from both Dan and Alex.
Cool.
There was just news this past week here in Oregon, and I don't know if it's in other states, but it was good news. The Oregon Department of Health said that they made a decision that they're going to lift the mask requirements for all hospitals, medical services of any kind, whether government or a private, and that takes effect in Oregon April the 3rd. I don't know if that happened, if that's a trend in other states or not. I haven't been, but I do know that's the case here in Oregon.
It is not a trend. I am sure it has something to do with hiring, which is, as you know, the health facilities are having a devil of a time, because there's so many people that quit or transferred over to other professions. But there's probably a number of states that are going to watch Oregon and see what happens. If all of a sudden Oregon, if their hospitals become fully staffed again, I bet you other states will follow suit. That's my thought. So I had not heard that.
Whatever motive.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, I was just saying, for whatever motive, I certainly hope it does become a trend.
I hope so too. But then again, you got to remember that they're still, they're still not letting in foreign nationals without a shot. So there's still parts of the government, and I know this is a state issue with Oregon, but I'm hoping it's a good thing. I hope it's a trend. I do. So thanks for that.
I'll just not to get into a big conversation about it. I mean, unless you want, I just mention since you mentioned politics. I don't know a lot about her, but Tulsi Gabbard, everything I hear about her, I like. So I just thought I'd mention her name. But that's all I got. Unless you got more time at some point, not necessarily tonight. I wanted to mention, you mentioned Mac Pahar earlier, and the previous caller had mentioned Rob Skiba. I'd like at some point to just mention a couple of reflections on the Skiba Sungenis debate back at the Denver conference, because I haven't in all the time seen a lot of people talk about that debate to any depth, and Mac Pahar is one of the few people that I've discussed it, in any kind of depth. Now, I could just say, I'll say succinctly, because I know you're running out of time. It's just my opinion, and Mac agreed that they kind of wasted it. He said he fell asleep. They wasted it on arguing about semantics. So it wasn't total waste, but they were friends with each other, and they had a pre-debate show where they talked with each other on YouTube that was a lot more informational and interesting than the debate itself. And my opinion, I think I have a constructive criticism of each one of them. I think Rob Skiba, in my opinion, stood to learn a lot from Robert Sungenis in the area of theology, and Sungenis stood a lot to learn about Skiba in the area of science. Specifically on Sungenis, he probably knew more about Skiba in both areas, in theology and in science, but a lot of the stuff he knew about science was just stuff that was false and wrong, which he picked up in university. Skiba's view on science, I think I'm preaching to the choir here, but he just rejected all the falsehoods. So theology, I won't go in depth. Robert Sungenis has been around a while, and he's known in Catholic circles. He wrote back in the 90s a trilogy that's not so much theology as I see it. It's proving 3 books like Not by Scripture Alone, Not by Bread Alone, and he got another title on the 3 pillars of Protestantism that he attacked, just letting history and the Bible speak for itself. So it's not so much theology as it's a negative thing, as in taking down something that's a false view. But I think that's it's good stuff. It's just
Gotcha.
historically in the big picture. So that's my. I could say one. I talked with both of them a lot separately during the Denver conference, and Skiba. This is the last thing I'll say. Skiba had I knew Sungenis, one of the most outspoken ecclesiastical writers, Lactantius, about flat Earth, and I mentioned that to Sungenis, and some of the others are flat Earth, but they're not as so clear and distinct. But Sungenis was he's not a flat earther, I know. Well, he just outright lied about it, and if he says Lactantius is not flat Earth, that tells me all I need to know about Sungenis. Sungenis probably is closer theologically to a lot of church fathers, but he's inclined to misrepresent their views on flat Earth. Sungenis is probably closer and would dismiss them or misrepresent them. Skiba's probably closer to him on science, but he doesn't know about them, so he dismisses them. And my short conversation about Sungenis with Skiba, because he mentioned a book by Jerome, which is excellent. Hey. And I said, that was an excellent book. I ordered it off Amazon while the debate was still going on. And then Skiba replied to me, this is in the hallway. He said, St. Jerome's not a flat earther. And I was angry. I was like, where'd you get that information from? Yeah. And he's like, it's in Sungenis' book. And I was like, and you believe him? I was like, I actually have a flat earth book. I mentioned it to Skiba later on, but it's available on Amazon. Most people don't know it, but it's like the Western version of Cosmos Indica Blessed. Anyway, I'll let you go.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. You have a good night, okay?
Forgive me, I'm loquacious.
I know. It's okay. See you, Dennis. All right, the man has got a lot going on in his head. All right, do we have time for? It's gonna be close. Let's pick up because we haven't picked up this one. Hey, Bally Music Journey, you got? Can you do whatever you want to do in 3 minutes?
Oh yeah, I'll make it quicker than that because Dennis took up a lot of time, even though he's a good friend of ours. On the Giffords thing and on the Kellys, it kind of came up about these twins. Can you guys give me your thoughts about that? Is it all just the psyop that I'm looking at now? Gabby Giffords doesn't seem to have any history. If you go past 2003 or so, have you guys ever looked into these two twins, the ones that run Arizona, and then the supposed astronaut? Just getting back to our fake.
If you were going to hire
space stuff for a little bit,
if you were going to set up, I mean, I'm not saying that twins aren't possible. Of course, there's twins out there. And twins would work really great for different operations, just in case, something went wrong, or you could manipulate where they are in different places and just explain it away as twins. It would become very convenient. As far as the Kellys go, I don't know. I've always been biased against him because he was the one that supposedly wrote the press release for the second blue marble shot. There was only one blue marble shot from 72 until 2015. and then Obama read it out, but it was supposedly Kelly that wrote it from space. So I don't like. And then now what is he now? A senator? What is he? What did he make it as?
Yeah, he ran for Senate. I think he did make it. Yeah.
Astronauts always do. And so no, he plays
You mean
the
the
game.
one that is an actual astronaut or is supposed to be an astronaut is in Senate now?
Yeah.
His brother. I'm confused.
I can't remember which one. It's not the one that set the record.
Mark Kelly. Scott Kelly is the other one.
astronaut.
So Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly's the one that's married to Gabby. Right.
Right, who took a couple bullets to the head and miraculously survived all that, and you know, did a little bit of a limp and a gimp, and then she was fine.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much of an opinion on twins other than, so, you know, with the Challenger guys, I don't know who was real and who wasn't. You know, it seemed awfully convenient that the Asian guy and the black astronaut had twin brothers.
Wasn't there more than just those two though?
In one crew? I should hope not. Two out of 7.
Was it?
That's still
Onizuka, and that was the one I told you that I played golf right behind him, and I talked to him on a hole and talked to the supposed survivor.
Right.
Twin.
Right. Oh
yeah.
Hey, we got to wrap this thing up because I gotta pick up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make a shout out to all the usual people and Dennis too. But can I just say, Flat Earth TV Guide. Search Flat Earth TV Guide, and Alex is hardcore. He doesn't always like me or anybody else because he's hardcore, but search flatearthtvguide.com and I'll put it up in the chat. Okay. The guy is the hardest working guy in truth, probably. He's amazing. He's a genius.
Cool.
But thanks, you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right. Let's jump right to it. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to end the show tonight.
New York.
Here we go. What do you got? Quote, shout outs. Good night, everybody. All right, what do you got?
Oh, man.
Mark short-circuiting.
Too funny.
What? Karen.
Yeah, right.
Karen.
He's going to turn into a pumpkin.
Right? Holy cow.
German people are obsessed by time.
Hello.
So anyway, what's happening, man?
German people. That's funny.
It's true.
Let me see. I'll go real quick. The lady from New York, I think she's originally from New Jersey. Teslas, you put dry chem on them. You can't put water on them because of the lithium batteries. You just got to let them burn.
Yep.
Walgreens is getting kicked out of California because Newsom doesn't like that they won't sell the abortion pill.
Oof.
There was giants found in Madison, Wisconsin in like 1911. All right, go ahead. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Trying to read through my notes.
No, good. Keep going.
Bill Gates is buying tons of farmland, and they're making corn now that's more than GMO. It has some sort of RNA component in it now. So we're even more fucked with that shit. Oklahoma, they had a trans freaking demonstration in their capital, and they did nothing, but they were arresting other people who were there questioning the politicians and stuff like the day before. Just interesting shit going on around this world. London now is going to enact, you got to pay $15 a day to drive your car in London. I mean, New York City, you got to pay and stuff. I get it. But, like, that's all new for them. Yeah, crazy.
It's crazy. Maybe next week we'll bring up the 15-minute. We're going to hear more about this. I don't think it's ever going to take in the United States, that whole 15-minute city concept.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 15
That isn't going to fly.
That is never going to fly here.
How is that possible? Like, I mean, people
in Europe,
lose their shit. What do you mean I can't go and visit Nana? Are you out of your mind?
Well, everything is smaller in Europe, though. When you have places that are spread out, like sometimes it's just like most people don't even live within or work within 15 minutes of their house.
That's true.
Like, do you know how many people would have to change
Oh yeah, no.
careers
In
or
Europe, you
change
could pull that off
something.
in some places.
There's no way.
And would be basically well, we'll talk about it next week. All right. Any quotes?
Yes. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past.
Very good.
George Orwell, 1984.
Of course. Well done.
So,
So,
just a reminder.
thank you. Thank you, Zulu. So we will be back next week here. That's good English. Same flat time, same flat. It's gooder than not gooder. Same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
and Peanut Gallery is just in a cloud of smoke in his X-wing cockpit. And with that, let's tie a bow on it. Karen, the final music, please. Oh, and hot sex, of course.
Hot sex.
Hot sex.
I'm only doing it with people that don't have the shot. Just letting people know. me and my good penis.
Yes, for your own penis protection, make sure you don't have hot sex with vax people.
There you go. Good night, everybody.
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to breathe.
Hello, Daisy. Hello,